How can a country that is about the same size as California only hold an eighth of its population and still be ranked by the United Nations as the #1 country to live in based on economic achievements? I was born in Norway and I've lived there for 16 years, and today I'm going to explain some of Norway's history, its traditions, and also relatively unknown opportunities that might make it an interesting destination. Norway is not very habitable, demonstrated by its low population density. According to the US Census Bureau, LA County alone has more than twice of Norway's population. So where do these people come from? Is the low population due to recent immigration, or have they been along for longer than we think? According to Encyclopedia Britannica, the first people came to Norway right after the last ice age, which was 11,000 years ago. Then about the same time when the Old Testament chronology began, the Germanic people moved up north, which is who the Norwegians descend from today. Then around the time when algebra was invented, the Vikings came. And then when the United States colonizations began, we were colonized by Denmark. And then when the DC became the capital in the United States for the first time, we were colonized by Sweden. Then finally now in the 19th century, we have become our own independent nation. So now that we know that there have been people there for a really long time, the question to ask ourselves is perhaps, who are they? Norway, because of its remote location far north, has always been a country that's had to rely on its own natural resources because there haven't been other people around. Until the 60s, they have relied on their natural resources, but in the 60s, they discovered natural gas and oil in the Nordic Sea. After this, they've now become the second largest export country of oil in the world, which is huge for being such a small country. So today, it's changed drastically. But what something like that cannot change is still the history that's already happened. According to the United Nations Development Program, Norway is today ranked as the #1 country to live in because of its life expectancy and educational and economic development and achievements. Norway's traditions are both incredibly similar to the United States and incredibly different because of these drastic changes. 50% of media broadcasted in Norway today, which includes television, film, radio, is either from the UK or the US, which means that the English influence on the country is immense. But again, as I said, it cannot change what has already happened. One thing that really characterizes Norway is its slow pace. There is nothing like making their scheduling lightly, enjoying lunches lengthily, or enjoying a long weekend in the park or in the mountains. By now you're probably wondering, well, what can a college student do in Norway? The #1 thing to do might not be walking in the park all day, eating, who knows? Well, some of the activities that are rather unknown in Norway that a college student might enjoy is, in the summertime, the #1 pastime for students between 18 and 30 are festivals. I'm wearing a shirt from a festival I went to last summer. It is the biggest festival in Norway, and it's called the Island Festival, hosted by the capital, Oslo. Thousands of people come from all over Europe to this festival every single summer, and next summer people like Bon Iver and Florence and the Machines are coming. But of course, the major bands are European and Norwegian bands. Another activity that has grown immensely the last decade is the Extreme Sport Week. It is a week full of excitement and involves activities such as base jumping, parachuting, paragliding, hang gliding, kite surfing, rock climbing, mountain longboarding, mountain biking, rafting, whitewater kayaking, and big air skateboarding ramps. So if you are an adventure-seeking person, this is something that might be fun. Hopefully these words on Norway's history, traditions, and rather unknown opportunities have informed you about what lies behind its rather unknown boundaries. To end in the true spirit of most Norwegians today, I will quote Fridtjof Nansen, a famous Christian Arctic explorer. He was once accused of not being a good Christian because he always spent his time in the outdoors and never in church, but he responded by saying, "It is better to be in the outdoors thinking about God than in church thinking about sports."
Mm-hmm.